it's Mark Carlson here. So this week's video, how can you stop thinking when you really need to? You know, those times when your mind is going crazy, when you can't get yourself off it, and you need to stop thinking so much, when you can't sleep and the only thing going on is this madness in your mind. How can you get off that? Well, let's have a look at why you're there for a start off. So it's very simple to understand. It's more difficult to administer, which is the same with many things in life. But it's very simple. When you put your attention in your thoughts regularly, then you magnify the energy there. So wherever you put your attention, energy flows. So if you put your attention in your thinking regularly, energy flows into your thoughts. So what happens is your thoughts magnify. Now when you attach that with an emotion, so when something goes on that you don't like and you get this emotion going on and then you get stuck in the story and it's over and over and over again and your emotion gets even stronger because you're thinking more and more about it and you're trying to work it out and you're getting angry or upset with someone or something, and then it goes mad, right? And your field of energy, your attention is so here, because when that happens, you don't really want to feel the feeling because it's painful. So you put more attention up here in your thinking. So that's the reason why you get into these times where there's far too much attention in your thinking. That's because in the majority of your life, you've been putting attention into your thoughts about life. And remember, your thoughts about life are illusionary because they're thoughts about life. The only thing that's real about life is where your feet are, the experience you're having. I know it's cliche to the max, but it's the only truth, right? So to see the truth, I've got to bring my attention to where I am. That will give me the truth. When I put my attention regularly into my thoughts will go up and down like a yo-yo, and my emotions will follow that. And when the emotion's strong and negative, there'll be more attention up here in the thinking because we're trying to sort that out so that we don't have to feel the emotion. So the thing to do regularly is 1,000 times a day, say to yourself, come back, come back, come back. Where am I? What's actually going on? And of course you use your 5 senses. Your 5 senses can be used to bring your attention away from this area, which is hurting you, to what's actually going on. What am I tasting without judgment, without it needing to change? What am I smelling? What am I hearing? What am I feeling right now? What am I touching? What's going on right now in this moment? Now, if I practice that regularly, when I am, when I'm facing a challenge where there's an emotion that hurts, and my attention flips up into my mind, it's easier for me to get off it because I'm practicing coming back to the moment. Whenever you remember, come back. Where am I? What am I looking at? What's actually happening? What's the relationship I have with this moment right now? But that's the maintenance to do. That's what you've got to be doing regularly. Come back to the moment as often as you can because it's the only place life's ever going on, right? It's never going on anywhere else. But most people, it's going on in their thinking. They're either in the past or in the future. Most of us are doing that. That's the way we've been trained because our operating center is based here. And rarely do you meet people that are in the moment the majority of the time. So it's something we have to work on. We've got to practice developing that muscle, the muscle of being with our attention where we actually are. And everything gets better then, you know, because 24/7 life is telling you everything's okay. It's right there in front of you saying, it's okay. But this thing, no, it's not. Well, we need to be, and we've got to be, and it should be, and how am I going to do this? But life, 24/7, is saying, but it's okay, have a look. You're okay. You wouldn't be able to be there as you are if it wasn't okay. All your needs are met, right? Because there you are in the moment. And life is showing you everything's okay. And when you come to that and recognize that regularly, that actually it's okay right now, let me be here because it's okay here, and I'm always only here anyway. So when I start to bring my attention to this moment, everything's okay. That's the maintenance, to continually work on developing the muscle that brings my attention to the moment. It's called the observer. So I'm bringing my attention in and I observe myself for as long as I can. I don't think about myself. It's very different. I'm not thinking what's going on. I'm observing. I'm just looking. I'm recognizing the experience that I'm having in the moment. Now, meditation really helps that process. because you're practicing. Meditation's a practice to bring your attention to the moment. But you can do it during the day simply by, whenever you remember, come back to the moment. And at first you won't be able to remember much because you'll have spent most of your time up here in the thinking stuff. But as you practice it, you might want to set a few alarms to bring yourself back. And as you practice it, it starts to work for you. The observer will then knock on your door and say, come back, where are you? Look what's happening, what are you feeling, what's going on? And of course you start to understand yourself then, because the only place you can find out about yourself is where you're going on, right? You can only find out who you are where you are, right? So the moment is always telling me more about myself via what I feel and what I intuit and what I see and what I hear in this moment, not what I think, because that's something that my tribe has given me. That's what I've learned from an education. It's a cerebral dead library up here, dead energy. The moment is alive. That's where we need to practice coming to as often as we can. Now, if there's not been enough maintenance, and you find yourself in one of those times where you cannot get out of your head, you're so stuck there, you can use what I've said, like come to the moment, but if the emotion is charged and you're angry or upset, then you'll keep going back to the story. So the way to get out of that is to forgive yourself for being in it and forgive yourself for not being able to get out of it, right? So what you're doing there is you're being very gentle, kind and loving with yourself with the act of forgiveness. I can't seem to stop thinking and I forgive myself for that. I'm stressed and I forgive myself for that. I'm angry and I forgive myself for that. I'm afraid and I forgive myself for that. I'm sad and I forgive myself for that. So I'm not trying to change what is. I'm forgiving myself for having the experience of what is, if I don't like it. But I'm not trying to change it. But the forgiveness process, because it's essentially infusing the system with love, will change it. Because as you forgive yourself, things will change. I do that when I can't sleep. I forgive myself for not being able to sleep. I just say it over and over, and next thing I know, I'm waking up, it's the next morning. And that's most of the time. Now, there are nights, of course, where it's more difficult, but 99 times out of 100, that works for me. I forgive myself for not being able to get off it. I forgive myself for being this, that, the other. Anything that doesn't think nice, anything that doesn't feel nice, I forgive myself for it. Have an absolutely fantastic day when you watch this. I look forward to talking to you again next time. Thank you so much.